Hello, it's Polish Paul VR, welcome to my channel, and it's time to do another episode of PSVR, the wrap-up, a weekly show in which I'm taking all the biggest news stories, all the new games announcements, and putting them together in one nice little neat video. Before I start, if you like what you're seeing, then please press a like because it does help the channel a lot, and if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna start from new games announcements, and first one is Swords of GARAGANTUA, whatever, I can't say this name, but it's there for you in the corner of the screen. Now, what is the meaning and what is the message of this game is that it's a arena combat game, and on this arena there's tons of enemies to fight with, but also there are big massive bosses, but also you can play it solo if you want, or you can play it online with up to 3 of your friends, so that's very nice. You might think, but what else you can do? And there wasn't that much to do in this game apart from fighting, which apparently feels cool. But lately they added new update on PC, which adding this roguelike element story kind of mode, so that's gonna be appreciated by all of you roguelike fans of the games. The developers didn't announce release date yet, but they did say that they working very hard to make it happen as soon as possible. It's gonna be coming at some point in 2020, looks okay. On PC it's got alright reviews. I'm hearing the locomotion is teleportation only, sadly, when you can like teleport from spot to spot, but also from what I'm hearing, combat feels very good, so at least there's that. It's not super expensive, it's cost on PC $20, so it should be around this price when it comes to PlayStation VR. But anyway, let me come back to this roguelike mode, because I think that's what's going to be most interesting about this game, even though the game itself is interesting, but this new mode definitely adding a lot of stuff to the game. So the mode is called Tesseract Abyss, whatever, I can't say many words, as you can see, what can you do? But anyway, in this mode you'll be having challenges, after challenges you'll be choosing stage and battles. Then you can collect and craft weapons, you'll be able to level up your character, and then you'll be able to continue the path towards potential epic battle against the GARAGANTUA within the deepest levels of Tesseract. I keep saying the words I'm struggling with. I like challenge as well. I don't think this port gonna be super hard to do because this game is quite well optimized. When it runs on PC you can run it on i3 with GTX 960, and plus it also runs on Quest, so we should definitely see it soon. Very nice little game. Okay, next new announcement, RC Airplane Challenge. I spoke about this game ages ago on my channel, but because the developers kind of put it on back burner because it's coming from the Strange Games Studios, and of course they've been concentrating on awesome Honor and Duty D-Day, but now they've got pretty much everything sorted. They getting this released, RC Airplane Challenge. It's what the title says, you controlling airplanes, a little toy planes. Now in this video you cannot see much, but the developers said there will be races, there will be hoops and shootings or something, I don't know. And as always when it comes to Strange Game Studios, they always like to release their games on a smaller price, I would say, with a lot of content. Also they always supporting shit out of their games, so I'm assuming RC Airplane Challenge will be supported a lot after release as well. I don't know, because they working on Honor and Duty Steampunk as well, which I gonna talk a bit in this video a bit later on, but as of now we can play with some airplanes, and of course we don't have RC Airplane games yet, so this is gonna be first of a kind on PlayStation VR, which is nice because there is always something new for somebody who might like those kind of stuff. Okay, and another new announcement is TAURUS VR. I've done little preview of this game because there's a demo on PC which I was able to play through, and I've had alright time. There was few bits and bobs what I didn't like when it comes to controls your spaceship with your body, which is very original idea, but sadly this spaceship was kind of slow to react, but hopefully they will update it because the game will be releasing early access on PC first, and then once they exit early access then they're gonna be bringing it to PSVR. I think they planning to release it around the summertime, but as always with the development you never know, might be sooner, might be later, I don't know. But apart from that, you've got these enemies popping up on screen. It's kind of you on rails, half on rails because you're controlling your ship, but you've got like predetermined path in which you can move around, and also you're not controlling the speed of your ship, it just flies by itself. but you controlling little drones on the side what shooting at your enemies, and also you've got cannons on your ship. There's tons of enemies on screens and there's a lot of colorful explosions, which I really appreciate. Definitely a lot of challenge in this game as well, and the developers saying it's based and inspired by your old-fashioned, old-school shooters like your Galaga and stuff like that. So if you appreciated those games back in the day and want to have little nostalgia trip in VR playing this game, then keep an eye out for this one. Okay, that's the new announcement. Now let's talk a bit about Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. The developers officially confirmed it for PlayStation VR and they said it's becoming in Q1 2020, so between January and March, which means we don't have that long to wait. In past they only confirmed this game for Quest and Rift, but they keep saying, listen, wait a bit, we're gonna announce other platforms as well. So it wasn't officially confirmed, but we kind of expected it, so they announced what we expected. But nevertheless, it's nice to have this official info because Walking Dead Saints and Sinners sounds awesome. It's gonna be on proper longer side. It's gonna be kind of like AAA VR game, and also it's gonna be selling at kind of AAA price because the standard edition will be costing $40, but I don't mind because if the game is big enough, then I'm happy enough to pay that money. Coming from Skydance Interactive, they in past released Archangel, which was very good game, but kind of come out at wrong time, and also because the PSVR version was 10 more than PC version. I think not many people bought it just on the release date, but I think now they keep buying it anyway. Archangel is really high quality challenging game, so if you didn't try it, I highly advise. But Walking Dead, it's completely different beast. It's on even bigger side than Archangel, which I must say when it's released it was one of the most polished and best looking PSVR games. But anyway, in Walking Dead Saints and Sinners you've got this kind of half open world when you can go enjoy the locations, you can enter houses, they've got climbing and everything. Somebody asked me in my comment section how the movement will work because they got smooth locomotion, but of course no thumbsticks on PSVR move controllers. But don't worry, I'm assuming it's gonna be Skyrim locomotion type system when you've got your one controller acting as a virtual thumbstick. Anyway, I cannot wait for this game. It looks beautiful on paper, it's got proper story mode, the acting and everything sounds proper high quality. It's been in the development for a long time apparently. I'm assuming they started working on it as soon as they finished Archangel, and it shows, and also it shows that this studio is definitely well funded and it's got enough staff and manpower to release bigger game like this. Also, if you wish so, you can buy super expensive awesome edition which costs $150, and in this edition you get backpack and shit and you can have it collected in your house standing somewhere on the shelf. But sadly none of those edition got physical copy of the game, it's all digital, which is surprising for me. I would like to have it on disc, but sadly it's not happening. I know some of you put on my comment section that you wish it was on disc, but sadly it's not. But anyway, it's definitely gonna be a treat to play. The game already received ratings and it's rated as 18, and apparently there's extreme violence, not just violent but extremely violent, and I'm assuming they've got nice disassemble system, melee combat and shooting, so that's gonna come to play as well. When I said it's on a bigger side, on Steam when you are able to pre-order this game, they saying the size of the game it's 15 gigabytes, which sounds like a bigger size for PlayStation VR game. As we know, sometimes the games are on smaller size, but anyway, sounds good. Everything about this game, everything what I saw, everything what they said, all the first impressions I watched points out to the fact that we gonna get amazing release at the early 2020, which is awesome. Okay, next story. Let's talk a bit about budget cuts, a game I'm getting asked a lot about. What's happened with this game? It's meant to come out this year, that's what the developers originally planned for, but sadly it didn't happen and they said they have to delay it just a bit, and it's gonna be releasing in Q1 2020 when I don't know. What's happened with budget cuts, it pop up actually on PlayStation Store in Europe for a small moment of time, but then it was taken away, so I'm assuming it was one of the Sony's usual mistake when they put out the game before day one patch, so probably developers was like, quickly take it off, there's too many bugs to have it out now, and I think they just need to do a bit of polishing and then it will be out. The developers said the game is pretty much ready now and they are very close, so maybe January, February and we should see it, and especially that it's already accidentally been released on store for a small short of amount of time. It shows that the game is pretty much in a finished state. Lately they released Budget Cuts 2 on PC, which getting very nice reviews, so I'm assuming that was causing a bit of a delay. Of course, indie studios don't have enough manpower to work on multiplayer games sometimes, but nevertheless, we're gonna be getting Budget Cuts very soon, and I'm hoping eventually we're gonna get Budget Cuts 2 as well. Okay, and now let's speak a bit about Undead Citadel. This is another one of those games that everyone is getting hyped for because the combat looks great, but what's happening with it? It's supposed to release this year, it's not happening. The developers gave us new release window and it will be coming in Q2 2020, which means it will be with us between April and June if everything goes right. Of course, in indie development you never know, but anyway, Undead Citadel looks great, definitely worth waiting for. The combat looks pretty cool. They already showed off some of PSVR gameplay, and PSVR version looked pretty much on par with PC version, even though sometimes people might think that will never look as good. It probably will be. I know in the trailers they saying the only improvements what they did is that they've been using depth of field effect, which won't be in VR version. They just used it to make things stand out a bit. Locomotion options, it's gonna have smooth locomotion, you'll be playing it with move controllers. I think it's gonna be this Skyrim style locomotion, but also if you are a owner of 3D Ruder, then you can use 3D Ruder with this game as well. There will be melee combat, there is nice disassembly system, what everyone loves, something what I'll be looking forward to see in Walking Dead. And of course in upcoming Gorn, but also in this one as well. Looks great. It's all happening, it's in like this medieval village. They didn't show us much. I can see there might be like a big boss fight at the end, so I don't know what to expect, but from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing, I like it so far. So let's hope the game will deliver in the gameplay department as well, which it's looking like it will. You'll be able to use your swords and your bow and arrows. There will be some spells, like some power-ups, what can slow down time or make your weapons more powerful or you more powerful. So there will be a lot of variety in the gameplay as well. So definitely Undead Citadel is well worth looking forward to, and it definitely shows that the next year we've got tons and tons of great looking games that finally will be releasing. They taking ages to develop, but this is the time now. They are coming, so we can expect some awesome things. But anyway, on to next story. I want to talk a bit about Honor and Duty Steampunk this time. So the developers done a documentary for owners of physical edition of Honor and Duty, All Out War Edition, and in this documentary they spoke, what's happened with the franchise, how it comes to life and all that shit. Very interesting watch. But also they spoke a bit about Honor and Duty Steampunk. I've got nothing to show you apart from this little teaser, but they said they planning to release it on PlayStation 5 out of everything. It might come to PlayStation 4 as well, but it's nice to see that we've got another game that developers thinking of releasing it on PlayStation 5. As we know, Lo-Fi is one of PS5 games. Now we get in Honor and Duty Steampunk. Of course, when PS5 releases, the PSVR what you own will be 100% compatible, and then eventually down the line there will be releasing PSVR 2 hopefully, but when I don't know. But I'm sure once PS5 releases we're gonna see big improvement in PlayStation VR games, and hopefully when PS5 is out Sony will be able to relax the quality assurance systems so the developers can find it easier to release the games, because that is the main block for now. Some studios, especially smaller indie studios, struggle with Sony's QA because, like I said, they don't have as much manpower as big studios. But anyway, Honor and Duty Steampunk sounds great. 64 players online, proper single player story mode as well, so you'll be having both of it from the day one, which is nice. Okay, next story. I'm gonna talk a bit about the station now, because I do not know what's happening with PSVR port. I'm assuming it's coming, but it's delayed. What's happened is, though, the game released on PC, and in past the developers been saying that they plan it to have it the station VR as an add-on to the flat version, so you're gonna have to buy DLC if you own the game. But then it looks like it changed, because when the station released on PC, it's released as a standalone version, and also it released at cheaper price because it only cost $10. I think the flat version of the game was like $12, so still not too expensive, but I'm glad they changed the idea and selling it separate, instead of buying main game and then buying the add-on again. And from what I played in flat version, I really liked it. It's not on the longest side, but price reflects that. But definitely had nice, interesting story, few puzzles here and there, a lot of walking. It's kind of on a walking simulator side, but many nice, interesting things to see, so I'm glad it's finally starting to be released in VR. Now let's just wait for PSVR version. Okay, and next story I want to talk about is Solaris from First Contact Entertainment, the studio which know how to make very good shooter, of course, because they made Firewall. They spoke a bit about Solaris during Perpmas calendar when they do their Christmas stuff, Perp games. Make sure you subscribe to them, by the way, because they're giving away tons and tons of games, so you can win loads of stuff. But anyway, when First Contact Entertainment been talking about Solaris, they said it's gonna be releasing with dedicated servers, something what people need, but also they showed off some footage of people playing it on PlayStation VR, and they showed that they will be able to use the aim controller, which is nice because any shooter with aim controller feels 10 times better. So yeah, definitely looking forward to Solaris, and that's it, bye.